Hello, and welcome to TrackVia expert session with Logan Kopis, getting the most out of your free trial. We have a couple housekeeping items today. Just to let you know, this webinar is going to be recorded. All attendees are in listen-only mode. Please submit any questions that you have through the chat, and we will follow up with those. Even if we don't get to them live, we will follow up with you afterwards. And we will send a recording of this to you within 48 hours upon completion. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Nicole. So as Nicole mentioned and introduced me, my name is Logan Kopis. I'm a solutions consultant here at TrackVia. And a couple of key ideas that we will be covering today. One is, who is TrackVia? Also, we'll be going over the tools and resources available to learn TrackVia. This is given to anyone that starts a trial account with us. And we will also walk through our new Launchpad trial experience. And we'll go ahead and end with a live Q&A session. And with that, I'll go ahead and get started with who is TrackVia. So we were founded in 2006, and just to kind of give a frame of reference, you know, the term low code was kind of coined around 2004. So we are really pioneers within the space. We are headquartered here in Denver, Colorado. We have around 75 employees, and we service over 350 customers. I also like including this over here, this image over here, to show a couple of customers that we have. And notice we fit a wide range of industries. So we have Sands, Las Vegas Sands Corp. They utilize us for anti-money laundering tracking and tracking a lot of the stuff that goes on within their casinos. We also have North Face, which uses us for their custom order processing, so more of a manufacturing use case. Then we have KSI that uses us for field services. And we also have Deep Roots Harvest, and they utilize us as a full ERP as they track their process from seed to harvest. So moving on, what is low code? So Webster's dictionary term is basically a software that provides a development environment used to create applications through graphical user interfaces and configuration instead of traditional hand-coded computer programming. This is just a fancy way of saying that you are able to stand up robust applications without needing to have any technical background on computer programming or specific computer language. And then we have a spectrum here of low-code tools. So we have our lightweight tools such as Excel or AppSheets. You know, these are great for getting started, but they aren't really scalable and they're very limited. And we also find a lot of data is siloed with those lightweight tools. Then we have our developer toolkits, such as our OutSystems and Appian. And these are great, and you can build very robust applications, but you do need to have a significant amount of technical knowledge to be able to really utilize their platforms. Then we have TrackVia, which I consider to be a true low-code tool. We have the ability, without any coding, to stand up robust applications with the same ease of use as, you know, your lightweight tools. But we do also offer coding, which makes it a low-code tool. We do have some abilities for more advanced automations, integrations, to be able to utilize more of that developer side to have even more robust application at your disposal. So what is TrackVia? Well, TrackVia is basically a platform where you're able to turn your ideas, your key business processes into enterprise apps without utilizing any coding. It all sits on a configurable relational database, which means everything is customizable. You know, we are trying to really provide a platform that's adaptable and bends to your process rather than forcing anybody through a point solution to bend and adapt their day-to-day processes to then fit a software tool. But by utilizing TrackVia, what we can find is it ensures processes are followed and followed correctly with the workflow functions and capabilities. We can also analyze whether processes are working as expected or not, so we're not siloing any of that data or getting things lost in transmission by just sharing spreadsheets or paper documents through email. And we can also automate and streamline steps to increase efficiency. You know, I mentioned North Face earlier in this webinar, and they managed to take their custom order processing process from 28 days down to 7 days. And then we can also drive real-time data insights and visibility. Because we don't have any siloed data, we can have a true oversight over what's going on within the company during this workflow process, and it's all updated in real time. So some common TrackVia use cases. Again, we aren't limited to these, right? These are just use cases that we find often between our clients, but we also have outliers that use this for completely different use cases. But some common ones we find are those custom workflow process applications, quality control, what OtterBox uses for field services like KPI mentioned. We got service delivery. We also have back office management. Stearns uses us a lot for that. Compliance and risk, assets and inventory, as well as project management. So here we have a couple customer spotlights, and I wanted to include these because they are fairly new customers to us, and they also came in through our trial experience. Here we have Digital Ally. They came into our trial experience wanting to utilize us for tracking their season tickets that they hand out within their organization and to their clients. And this one was a little bit different as they really utilized me as a resource and an SC throughout their trial process and had me kind of go alongside them and help them build along the way. And they were then able to take what we built in their trial environment and immediately implement it in their day-to-day with their organization currently. Then we have 6K and auto under sales. 6K and under auto sales, my bad. And they utilize us for tracking their inventory as well as the time that a car spends on their lot. And they really took it as they signed up for their trial and they were able to build everything on their own with very little interaction from anyone here at TrackVia. But they were able to build a custom application that suited their needs and immediately move from the trial environment to it then being implemented within their organization. So with that, let's go ahead and hop into the demo and take a look at the new Launchpad trial experience. So if I move over here, oh, I'm sorry about that. Sign now, do the inactivity. Let me go ahead and sign back in. So this is one of the security settings that we have in place that's customizable as well. But you know, security due to inactivity, it's going to go ahead and automatically log us out of the account after 15 minutes. But now I am in our trial environment, and let's go ahead and take a look at it. So here, just to kind of give a little bit of orientation to the screen, we have our TrackVia logo here up at the top left, and this really serves as a home button. But again, everything that you're looking at today is completely customizable. So we have the ability to white label these applications as well. It be your company logo and color scheme throughout. Then to the right, we have the app dropdown. So in a more traditional use of TrackVia, we can access our applications by utilizing this app dropdown. But as you see in our new Launchpad experience, we have it very easily accessible to access these apps and start from a template directly on the dashboard. Now also when you log in, and we you are prompted with a welcome video. So you can access that video again if you happen to skip it, and it does the same thing as we're kind of going through now, giving that orientation to the screen and kind of helping direct the end user on what to look at and how to get started with your trial. Then right below that, we have our resources. So we have our knowledge base, which is basically a repository of a bunch of documents and articles on how to use TrackVia, and also common app scripts and just general discussion boards as well. But if you are more of a visual learner, as I am, we also have help videos and TrackVia University. So TrackVia University is a on-demand, go at your own pace learning tool that you are able to utilize to get started with TrackVia. It's got videos, on-demand training. We do also offer instructor-led workshops and skill assessments. And you can also take a look at our previous webinars and demos as well. We have various webinars on specific industries, manufacturing, also more app from scratch webinars if you're wanting to learn more about building within TrackVia as well. And then under that, we have our developer documents. This is basic API information and stuff used for our more advanced functionalities within TrackVia. And then we also have the ability to schedule a demo with me or one of the other SCs here at TrackVia. And then just below that, we also have invite a collaborator. So we made it very easy for you to add other people to these accounts. And with these trials, for the full 30 days, you are given the full functionality within TrackVia. So feel free to add your organization and test out these apps live within your organization before implementing it. So then we also have our various template apps. We have our task tracker, which I'll be going over today. We have our asset tracker, and then we have project tracking as well. So below that, we do have customize your account. So here, this takes us to the settings. We have your account details, again, logo and colors where you would customize that. We have the security settings, such as session activity settings. We do have single sign-on capabilities, as well as access to the bidirectional API for standing up integrations. And then below that, we have explore integrations. So this takes us to a PDF document that explains integrations and how we perform them. So there's two ways we can go about integrating with TrackVia. We do have an open bidirectional API, and you can stand these up through a traditional coding format with microservices, but we also are partnering with a third-party integrations platform called Workato. In the same way that you build and stand up applications using the drag and drop features of TrackVia, it is very similar. You utilize drag and drop features and capabilities to basically stand up integrations as well. And then again, another prompt for let us help you that sends a contact to me or one of the other SCs. Then we also made it very easy to access our app, our mobile app. So if I click on this, it gives us a QR code to take us directly to the App Store and download the mobile app. So we do have a native iOS and Android app. So that means that we're not opening up in some web browser, and it gives us access to the functionalities of our mobile device, such as QR code scanning, barcode scanning, location capture, as well as offline capabilities. And you don't need a separate code base. Everything that you stand up on the website is immediately stood up on the mobile side. And then we also have the build your own app. So if you are wanting to now, after going through some of the templates and seeing what a full-fledged app looks like, we can start from scratch and build out your own process. But we'll go ahead and jump into the task tracker today. And I'll go ahead and get started. So a couple things have changed now. Now we have access to this, the admin toolbar. So we do have very robust roles and permissions. Right now, I'm allocated into an app admin role. So this gives me the ability to manipulate dashboards, add new fields to tables, and basically stand up the database structure of our applications. And then we have our limited users. So these are the end users that we only want to input necessary data, right? So they wouldn't be able to see this admin toolbar, as they would only have access to the dashboards and views and forms that they are allocated. And then under here, we also have app queues that pop up for us. So these are just prompts to help you get to know TrackVia. Let's go ahead and get started and go through them today. So we'll go ahead, and it starts off with an overview video that we can watch. Again, just kind of giving you an orientation to the screen and letting you know that this is a task tracker. But let's go ahead and start, and we will assign someone a task. So it's going to immediately prompt us to create a new task here. And we'll go ahead and say lead trial webinar. The task type, we'll say that this is a project, and any estimated duration hours, we'll say it'll take us about 1 hour to perform. And show off the new Launchpad experience. So now we'll go ahead and assign an employee. And I'm going to go ahead and assign myself this task. And we'll go ahead and give it a due date of today. And we notice that we have a couple form rules in play. So we do have some various default values, as this is automatically put to the assigned status. So again, tailoring that end user experience to make it as easy as possible for the end user to input information. They're not having to deal with any empty fields or fill out any information that could be confusing to them. And we can do this through show hide rules, default values, and also these little asterisks here show us that these are required fields. So we cannot move forward in this workflow process without having these fields filled out. And we also have a couple of notes here, like high priority items will show up in yellow. So let's go ahead and give it a high priority to show off some of that conditional formatting that we have within TrackVia. And as instructed by the app queue, I will go ahead and create the task. So now we see our task assigned to me. So here's our lead the trial webinar task. And now we see that it is highlighted yellow in both places because it is given the high priority. So here are just a couple different views and ways that we can manipulate the data within TrackVia on this dashboard. So here we have a lanes view or a Kanban board, and this is also interactive. So I can pick up these cards, move them. Let's go ahead and say that I'm now in progress for leading the trial webinar. We can see a calendar of all the tasks. We can see the ones that are due today. Again, the conditional formatting is carrying throughout. And we also have some need to help functions below as well. But let's continue with our app queues now. So let's go to explore a chart. So here it takes us now to our analytics dashboard. So this is just to showcase again a couple different views and ways that we can analyze the data put into TrackVia. So anything that you are tracking in TrackVia can be charted in TrackVia. So let's go ahead and get started. So now we can interact with the view by clicking on the name, and this will take us to the view. And now we can drill down into the view. So each view is interactive. So I can go in and see, okay, here's my task and assign. Let's look at the ones in progress. And now it shows us the lead trial webinar that we just created, and we can drill down even more to see that information as well. But we'll go ahead and go back. And we can also implement filtering on these as well. So let's go ahead and throw on a quick filter and say that we want to separate by employee. And we will say that I just want to see all the tasks assigned to me. And I can now apply that filter. And now I see only the tasks assigned to me on the view. So with that, we'll come back out to task management, and we'll go ahead and customize a dashboard. So now in the app queue, we are getting more into maneuvering the app admin toolbar and learning a little bit of the building basics within TrackVia. So we'll go ahead and customize the dashboard and we'll customize the analytics dashboard. So I go to our admin toolbar at the top, and now I click the edit icon on our analytics dashboard. And now we can do various things such as resize the dashboard elements by various grips, and we can rearrange them as well. Again, just dragging and dropping the elements in place, the different views. We can also add things like flows, other views. We can add forms to the dashboards, various widgets like shortcut panels, embedded websites as well. But we'll go ahead and save that dashboard. And that's a way that we can edit and manipulate these dashboards. So now what we'll go ahead and do is we'll also create an email alert. So we want to make our application more robust, right? So we want to make sure that we can streamline our process. So we can also implement notification rules. So when a task is assigned to myself or another employee, they will immediately be notified by email. So if I go a task assigned to me by status, we'll go ahead and go to the view options. And now if we click notification rules, so we'll go ahead and say new task. We can label it new task assignment. So anytime a notification is added to this view, anytime a record is added to this view, we will get a notification. We can adjust the recipients. Right now, we'll just have it delivered to me, but we can deliver it to specific users, all users within the role. And we can even customize, make it personal of how we want that message to look when it is received by an employee. So we'll go ahead and save and finish. And let's see if our email alert works. So we'll go ahead and create a new task, and we'll just call this email notification. Give it a task type, approval, fill out any other information, due date today. We'll go ahead and assign it to myself again and click create a task. So now if I were to pull up my email, I should have gotten an email notification. So if we look at this, 0 minutes ago, I got the email notification record. So that lets us know our notifications rules are work and that I need to go ahead and get started on completing that task. And to close up, let's go ahead and set up a new data field. So by doing this, it takes us to our table editor. So I'll go ahead and proceed. Everything is separated by tables within TrackVia. So we're building up that relational database by how the tables are related to each other. So let's go ahead and go to tasks and click edit. And now let's go ahead and add a field. So again, the left is all the fields available to us, just like we saw in our dashboards tab, in our dashboard editor. And we have a lot of fields such as text field, numeric fields, choice fields, date fields, some specialty fields, various calculated fields and triggered fields, right, to set up automations, and they are set up very similarly to how you write out equations within Excel. So we're really keeping up that ease of use and that easy adoption of the software. But let's go ahead and drag a location field. Let's say I want to now gather information on the location of the task. So let's do location at creation too, so it automatically grabs my location when the task is created. And let's go ahead and click save. So now we can gather information on the table level of the location of the task, but we need a way for that end user to now input that information. So moving on to the next step, we then go to our forms. So again, separated by table, we go to the task table. And let's go ahead and edit the create a task form. So we have our create a task form, and let's go ahead and add a new field section for our location. Since this field section's pretty congested already, I will go ahead and add a location field. Again, no coding, just dragging and dropping. We'll go ahead and put that, resize it, and let's go ahead and also give this field section a title, call this location. We can also customize the background colors as well. Let's kind of stick to that light blue that we have at the top. And now I can click save. So when I go to create a task now, and I will create a new task, we can now gather information on the location of the task. And notice that it's already capturing me at our downtown office here in Denver. So that's really kind of working through our template apps. Feel free after this to try out the asset tracking and project tracking as well. Definitely go through the app queues as they teach you both kind of how to use the template app as an end user, but also gives you a bit more insight on building within TrackVia. So I'll go ahead and leave this workflow. If we were to want to start, and then basically once you go through that and get more comfortable building within TrackVia, we can then build our own app. So if we were to start from scratch, there's a couple ways that we can start from scratch. We have previous webinars. Feel free to look those up on creating applications from scratch. We can create them with one of our new product features of Fast Track. So we can take pictures of any form, and that's automatically uploaded, and it basically starts off a template app for you based on the information that it picks up from that form. We also have start using an Excel spreadsheet. So if you have a current CSV full of information to start your app, you can import a spreadsheet and start your app up that way, or start clean from scratch. If we start clean from scratch, let's call this webinar application. If we were to start clean from scratch, we name it, and it takes us immediately to the table editor to then start building out these tables, thinking about the information that we do want to collect on. And then you just go through the same process of maneuvering between the admin toolbar, and you can then get started building an application from scratch. So again, I know it can be a little daunting sometimes, but feel free to use us as a resource. That's why we made it easily accessible here. My contact information will be given out to at the end of this webinar. Feel free to utilize me as a resource throughout the process, throughout your 30 days. And so with that, I will go ahead and close up the demo and move on to any questions. So looking over here, one question that we got was, what does a demo session look like when you go through that help bar? So really a demo session with me, once you contact out and reach out to an SC, can go a couple ways. What we can do is we can go through fully fledged built out applications to show you kind of what a robust project management application could look like or be used within your organization. And also we can do just a trial session and trial help. So if you reach out to us for a demo session, what we can do is we can then log into your trial environment and we can build live, show you some best tips and practices, and really kind of work to building out and establishing your workflow process within the trial so that you can better be equipped before implementing it within your organization. Another question that we have too is, are you limited on the amount of applications that you can create? So we are not limited on the amount of applications that you can create both after the trial and within the trial. So you can make as many applications as you need. On average, our customers have about 6 applications, but some of our customers, such as Stearns, has upwards of over 80 applications covering various different workflow processes throughout the entire organization. really when you start building out more applications is where you'll find your most ROI. And again, all that data is no longer siloed, and through cross app connect you can access different tables among different applications, and you can have that true oversight and real-time visibility over your day-to-day work functions. And with that, that closes up the questions. So I know fairly quick webinar and demonstration today. We'll go ahead and give some time back to your day. But we'll go ahead and wrap up here with some final notes. An email with a recording of this webinar will be sent out to you within 48 hours. And again, we really value your feedback. Feel free to fill out the short survey. It wouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Let me know how I did. Let me know if there's any other things that you would like us to bring up within the next webinar. And again, here's my contact information, logan.copus@trackvia.com. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I'm always happy to sit down and help people through their trial process and kind of build out their applications. You can email me directly or utilize the new Launchpad experience to reach out to our SC team. And with that, thank you. I'll go ahead and hand it back over to Nicole for any closing statements.
No, we are all good. Thank you so much, Logan, and thank you everyone for joining. Have a great day.
Bye.